All right, so continuing our 2022 lockdown at home instructional series. Today we're going to look at putting posture, really in relation to where I sit in relation to the golf ball and what sort of changes can be made to influence some of our patterns or our tendencies. Now, where you see this the most, and I know it's happened to me, so I'm sure it's happened to most out there as well. When we've set up a putt, we'll call it a straight putt, and we've even used any marker or line to make sure that we are, behind the golf ball, we're lining that putt up to our target. But then when we come in and we set up to that golf ball, for whatever reason, that ball does not look like it's straight, whether it looks too far left or right. Now, I can tell you what I've done. I'm sure some of you have done it as well. We've just made minor adjustments over the golf ball to try and react to what we're seeing. Now, in my case, that has never worked. If it works for you, keep on doing it. But I think a better way to look at it is to understand how our posture affects what we see. So when we're standing behind the ball, and I'll use this as an example, when we're looking at two eyes down the line, we tend to see a putt certain way straight. Now, when we step up into the golf ball, and now we are side on to our target line, and also we are at some angle with our eyes, when we now tilt our head down to look at the target, the positioning of our head and our body can influence whether we see too far left, too far right, or maybe you've honed it in and you see perfectly straight. So a good at-home drill, whether you want to use a straight line on hardwood or tile, or if you want to set up a scenario like this where ball alignment stick on a target, when you set up behind it and you can see that this is going to be a straight putt, when you step up into this golf ball and you align your putter and you get into your posture, when you tilt your head down that line should seem straight like it was when you had two eyes looking down it. Now, if it doesn't seem straight, I'm going to give you three modifications to your setup that you can do to hopefully influence it more left or right, depending on which bias you fall on. The first one, which is typically a simple one, but it can yield some good changes, really how far back or how close to the golf ball we stand. Typically, those who stand further away from the golf ball and their eye line gets well inside of the target line, they're going to look more out to the right. So they may see the line working more out to the right. Conversely, you start seeing people who get on top of the golf ball, maybe their eye line is outside of the golf ball, they're going to have a tendency to see lines looking more left. So that's step number one. Step number two is the orientation of our neck. So those that kind of stand tall and maybe don't have a lot of neck bend, they're going to have a tendency to look more out to the right. Conversely, to somebody who will have a lot of neck bend, looking more straight down, more of a bend in the neck, they're going to maybe see things more to the left. Now, those two posture changes will probably encompass 90 to 95% of your issues. Now, there's one final check, and it's really, so instead of thinking about the tilt this way, we're going to now think about the side tilts. Now, very rarely are you going to see somebody who has, their head cocked one way, left or right, but that could be the final touch to really seeing straight for you. So again, posture away from the golf ball, head tilt up and down, maybe a final adjustment of cocking the head left and right, and really honing in where you see straight. From there, what I would like to do is maybe get in and out of your putting posture a few times. So you're going to kind of get behind the ball, come in, try to recreate that same stance that you had, look down the line. Okay, that looks great. And do that a few times so you can feel comfortable and confident when you're setting up. If you pair that setup with the first two drills, working on speed and alignment and start line, I think we're well on our way to becoming a more efficient putter. So like in our previous videos, comment below, do these drills help? Is there a variation? Did you find something maybe opening up your body line? Maybe that helped more. Let me know below, and stay tuned for our next video in the series.